So let's get everything ready to rock and roll. I should technically be able to have um both pages open on my phone. I don't know how YouTube on it because I'm supposed to be able to be multi-streaming to YouTube too also right now. Huh. I have to open that one. Hmm. Okay, so that should be good there. I think. I'm trying to figure out if I got everything set up this way properly on the phone side. Maybe I won't be able to view one of the chats. Huh. Whatever. We'll just have it be this. Let's switch over to the game view so y'all can see the lovely camera and everything like that. Hello. So, I believe everything's set up now. Possibly. Maybe. Not sure how well the latency is. But I'm going to hope that it is doing good. At least I'm going to hope so. So, it's ready to go live. And yes, I know there's no music going, and I understand that that might be a bit of a bummer for everyone else, but that is kind of what I'm just doing for right now. Hmm. Might as well actually have the game music on for you all to actually be able to hear more than just my voice. Oh, it doesn't have any music for this menu. Hmm. I guess that happens. We'll just label this the multi-stream world because we are both on YouTube and on Twitch, so might as well have both of them available for everyone, right? And let's create world. Just waiting for everything to be loading up here. There we go. Let's see. This guy has the quest book as initialization part. That's okay. About 5 minutes into the stream so far. We're doing pretty darn good in my opinion. Yep, we get this really cool area in here that shows us these other echoes that we technically don't have access to. I wonder if there was a way of getting under there. Let's jump through the portal and get on our way. Later on, I might do a hightail stream. So let's start. Actually, wait, we should probably get all these kind of things unlocked. You got roasted mutton chops as a reward. That's all they dropped is a feather and an egg. Not bad, not bad. Could be a lot better rewards, but that is a-okay by us, because, you know, we're just going to be kind of going through and getting everything else taken care of now. So, just gotta punch these areas over here, and I apologize for the darkness in this far side over here. You know what? Let's actually do this. Makes it easier on everyone, so now you guys can see what's going on, instead of having a situation where you guys can't see anything that's going on screen, or it just becomes really, really, really dark shadows and anything like that. You know, might as well just, you know, punch some pebbles and get some, punch some rocks, get some pebbles out of the deal, and gather all this up like this. So, bum, bum, bum. Hmm. I placed a block down by accident. But, hey, we got some pebbles out of the deal there. Got enough to do what we needed to do here. Boom. That's all of that. I do need to clear up this area over here because we want to kind of line up this room a little bit nicer, making sure it looks pretty, well, pretty-ish in a sense. I really wish I could view. I wonder, is there a box for having Google's or YouTube's chat? Hmm. Just collection of appearance. Webcam. Hmm. Why don't I have Google's chat enabled? These. You'd think I would know how to do this. Possibly. Um, where is the silly setting for basically the docks that allows us to have the multi thingy? Hmm. Like it really doesn't have uh, a thingy, does it? Huh. Why don't you have a thingy? I'll figure it out another time. I'm like trying to figure it out while streaming and just making myself look less than intelligent most days. But that's okay. That's kind of what I do every day of the week nowadays. I'll do things at work or I'll do things at home where it's like my housemates will probably look at me and go, "What the hell?" Or my coworkers will just look over me and be like, "Okay." Half the time I'll not fully think before I'll do something at work and I'll realize after the fact, like, oh, that was probably not the smartest of things to do. But at the same time, it was entertaining. Uh, there's that. Surprised none of the in-game music has just started playing for us because that would have made more sense if it did. But then again, I guess, want one hand, dirt in the other. Dirt's always gonna be showing up first. There we go. What kind of trees we got? Oh, we got some spruce already. That's one we're gonna grow. That's the one I prefer to use over oak. Just because I like the way the spruce looks. Cool. We at least got some of those. Let's break this guy up. Do some more of those. There we go with that. And then if we throw all these basic tools into a crafting grid, we'll get our packs. Basically, it's an all-in-one tool, but in all reality, it's a Paxel or a Pulaski, depending on how you want to view it. A Pulaski is a tool that most wildland firefighters use, which is a combination of an axe and a tilling device. So, there we go. little bit of education for some of you who may not have known. It is also a tool that is a relatively older tool that I still find pretty cool when you look at the history of it. All right, so let's get these guys moved. I want to throw this guy into the floor. That'd be after we convert it into a crafting station, just so we can potentially leave stuff in there when we need to make multi-crafts. Like, if we have crafts that we need to have, like, the same pattern or stuff, but some different minor materials, like the automatic hammers, we can put everything in here first for all of what we need to fully upgrade it, and then just swap bits around when we need to. There's that. Toss 2 into there, 1 into there. That's going to cook that guy up into 1 piece of charcoal. And that 1 piece of charcoal we're actually going to use to multiply it into getting more, so that we can have more materials for us to play with. Go, we got some more cobblestone, stone crook, and some of the coins that the game has for in-game currency. So there is that. Now we've gotten that guy. We're going to cook all 8 of those up there to get a bunch more charcoal for us to toy with. And we got 2 pieces of charcoal there. I'm going to grow another spruce tree. Let's actually clean that there. Come on, grow tree. The only downside to early game kind of mod packs, especially like this one, is you're stuck with a lot of grindy behavior where you're just like, okay, you have to go through and dig things out by hand, or you have to go through and make sure that you are, doing the process that needs to be done for it. There's that. That's cooking there. Come on. Once we're able to get into the botany pots, this is going to become a simpler process for us. Currently, though, it is going to be just the slow, monotonous grind of grow a tree, break a tree, and go through that. So, I'm kind of curious on how this is gonna be, because I haven't had a thing on YouTube in a good while, aside from some posts I made from my TikTok stream on Hightail. But due to the servers being down and several other things going on with it, it is currently not an available thing to stream on, which, I mean, I'm not too bummed out about. I mean, yeah, I was making, headway on streaming there, but I'm not going to worry too much about that. Yeah. Looks like that's not even going on there. Kind of wish there was something going on with that. That'd been kind of nice. But not even anything there. Bummer. Let's refresh both pages on the phone side, just to make sure that it's actually, doing what it's supposed to be doing there. Yeah, it looks like it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. It's just, at the same time, not. Okay. There's that. We got our fancy hammer. Okay, so the game also wants us to get a set of wooden shears to get ourselves a few leaves. So we're going to get that taken care of too. Another loopy. 2 diamonds. Ugh, and a chance cube. Not a big fan of chance cubes. That's okay. I think there is under the, not that one. The bounty board? Or did they get rid of that one from the bounty board? There was one where we could submit this guy and get stuff out of it. May have changed. Very most likely it probably changed. So there is that aspect. Come on. Grow, Mr. Tree. There we go. Okay, so we have stone pebbles. We also have 6 stone, which we are going to boop up, and we're going to then harvest up once we get it to sand, so we can get some special crops out of the deal to where we don't have to worry about doing the smelting of the cooked leaves or any of that. Because I'd rather not deal with cooking leaves right now. What should we get? What should we get? Did we get what I need? Does not look like we got what we needed. Bummer. Alright, so... There's that. Just some barrels for storage. Now, non-organic materials and the crafted items. Actually, I should say the crafted slash tool items are all going to go into here. And food stuff can go in there too. Stone items goes into there. Plant items can all go into here. Sticks we're going to count as a plant item since it is dropped from plants. Resources like that goes into there. And I guess we could toss those into there, even though it doesn't exactly count. But we can still have it go there because that, can still function. So let's go over to here, pull this stone out of there, pull that out of there, and that out of there. Should probably actually use this one up first instead of the one that has no durability loss on it. It's that. There we go with that. Get the plant I needed. Yes, we got the flax seeds. So the flax seeds are actually what I was trying to go for the entire time there. Just because the flax seeds are a material that we can actually get the string and the other parts off. So that straw, that's kind of what we were needing to get. So now that we have that, we don't have to worry at all about it. There's that. Okay, now we're going to grab you out of there. 3 of you out of there. Make 3 of you guys. Toss that straw straight back into there so we don't need to worry ourselves about it in any kind of way right now. We need you. We're going to start digging out into these areas. I'm going to go with kind of a pattern I've done in all the stone blocks that we get this kind of like a spawn point. I tend to dig out in certain areas to create separate rooms. Now, unlike like with Stoneblock 2 or even Stoneblock 3, where like with Stoneblock 2, you didn't really get much of a wide area. You more just got a stuck in a box kind of area. And in Stoneblock 3, you had to dig down to get to the andesite layer and the other layers to get more materials to use. This one, you have to dig out these directions in the 4 cardinal directions to get more materials that way. But right now, we're not going to worry about that. So I did have, yes. There we go. Compact that up. Smash it up now to get ourselves the gravel. Gravel into there. So we should be able to make 7 of these right here. So it's going to go right about to there if I'm doing my math correctly here, which I might not be, but it is worth a shot here to make sure that we're thinking correctly. And we are. That is good. So now we just use the Ultimine and the brush in tandem to get a bunch of iron chunks and tiny coal. Toss both of those into there since they are mineable materials. We need more. 2, 3. 1 up there. Place a torch there. And we're going to kind of dig this room out now. Mainly because we need the stone. Because we don't have a cobblestone generator yet. And this room's also going to be used as kind of like a lobby-esque type area. Where we're going to be able to go down into our mob grinder room and whatnots from this area. Break that. There's that. And we're just going to continue kind of going in this circle around the room. Doing like 1, 2, 3. Then hit the ceiling. And then this room we should be able to break off into... Go. Then we just remove the center pillar. And that should clean up this room quite nicely. So we got the room cleared out. I can take all of this and we can drop it off into there. And I do want to get ourselves a bit of sand brushed up. Only because the sand is actually where we're going to get our clay. So we can be able to go through and have the trees automated. And having the trees automated is something I do want to do because it just makes more sense. I'm also purposely breaking that because the stone hammers can't be used for any kind of craftings, so they are kind of up the creek on usability. Let's actually make this a little bit easier on us here. Let's compact that up. Toss it through there. Grab these 2 sticks there. And we're going to actually use the piece of iron and 2 sticks and create a builder's wand so that we can just easily place down a bunch of the materials for us. Like such. brush all this like that. Decent amount of resources already. How many different tree types do we want? So we want dark oak. We're gonna want spruce. I don't think I really want cherry or birch or oak. So we just need the 10 there. Toss that through there. And that did kind of get kind of a speedway onto technically getting all of this area. Now, we don't have any grass yet. We do need to get ourselves one of those. We need... I want to say it's 7 of the logs. So 7 or 5. Okay, so it was 7. And then we just need a campfire made for it just so we have that taken care of. Let's grab 12 of you. Or 24 use, because we need 2 axes for both of them. Grab both of these sticks, or both of these planks, make sticks out of it. Or they use iron axes for this instead of the others. And this is currently a very, very slow furnace, which we will upgrade eventually. It's just currently not there. Also, once that timer hits down to 0, we will be wrapping up this stream. I'll take a small break, get myself food, and then we'll probably do a hightail stream later on today. Mainly because I want to do that one. That game's been actually really fun. Alright, go with that. Take these lovely little bricks, get ourselves some bonsai pots. I don't want to shift click, so if we shift click, it'll put it on our head. Which is weird, because it puts it on the player's head, and it's like, okay. Maybe not what I was wanting, but we can vibe with that. Boop you there, boop you there. Take that dirt from there. Place you down, place you down. Grab another piece from there. Once we've gotten these smelted up, then we can drop the cobblestone into there, get another piece of stone, so that I can then, on top of everything that's already going on today, actually be able to have that hole right there filled in and not have to worry about it being weird or any of that kind of things. So that. This to there. Oh, as I apparently don't know how to place those down. You. Toss these guys into there. That's now going to be getting us both dark oak and spruce logs, which we can technically also put one as a decoration there, since that little box there is meant for a stylized block used solely for decoration in this pack. I think it's also in the base version of the Bonsai Trees 4 mod, but I don't know 100%, and I'm not going to go questioning it right off the bat. Alright, we'll just Shift K all that. Toss all 7 of those into there. Since we already got 1 piece of copper here, we're going to upgrade this furnace into a copper furnace so we can at least have some sort of automation going on for us. Mainly because I don't want to deal with too much with as slow automation as it is currently. And that go there. Oh, I got another loopy. Cool. loopy kind of done disappeared on us. There we go with that. Make sure light levels are turned on, just so we don't have to worry about any of that stuff. And we're also going to start making our tunnel going off this direction, just so that we can get to the healing grove or healing spring, which this pack uses that with a few crafts at the beginning, but then just kind of becomes a scenic area for the player to kind of see later on, which I kind of want to use as such from kind of the get-go, have kind of a scenic-esque area for us to be able to see and be able to interact with. So we just got to kind of dig our way out too there, which goes from where we are in our little base all the way to here where the healing spring is. So, bit of a jaunt, but that is okay. That is kind of the whole process of this, right? So, checking the stream manager on my phone over, like, to my right here. Well, my right looks like, it would look like your guys' left. But, yeah. Just checking the phone there. Because I do have the chat manager and whatnots on there. I have thought about looking into maybe acquiring one of those fancy little screens I can attach to my monitor, where I can just look down or something like that and see those kind of things, but I don't have that yet. Partly because those things seem quite expensive right now, in my opinion, and also I haven't really thought about needing something of that sort. Maybe in the future, if I get big enough where that might seem like it'd be a better idea. Let's combine it with 3 stone just to get it fully repaired. I think with the hammers, that's actually like the one thing I do like about these easy hammers, is that you can actually do a quick repair in your inventory if you have the material that the item is made out of. Like, let's say I make a netherite one. The netherite one would need a netherite ingot to repair. But if I'm not mistaken, the netherite hammer, at least the one I would make, would require netherite blocks. Because that one does a 3x3x3 area. So, there is that. We should be getting close to the healing spring right now. I mean, the map looks like we're getting pretty darn close. There's a few things I do want to pick up while we're in there. One of them is going to be at least a bit of our, a bit of the amethysts, because that is something that is needed. I like how I have the sound filters on, or the sound mod on, that makes the audio unique in some of the things. We're going to use some of this basalt, and we are going to do that. What? Oh, that's why. It was a piece of moss carpet in our way. There we go. Now we have kind of stairs going down there. We can actually go up these stairs right here real quick. There is a crafting table here we can use to compact up this cobblestone we have in our inventory, just so we can save on a little bit of room right now. There we go. There you go. I think that's more than enough amethyst for this quick second. I don't think I need anything else from this room right now. The amethyst is something that we need for as soon as we get crafting onto the next part of the getting started chapter. So, run our way over here, picking up all this extra cobblestone on our way, because it will become important for early game stuff. Later on, we'll get to the point where we're just like tossing it into the trash and stuff like that. So, toss that there. And we got some plant materials with the moss and that. We need 3 of you. There's that. And now... we toss one of those into there. It automatically goes there, so it'll cook everything up for us. That should become easier task. Okay. Now we just need to get some dust. Alright. Let's uncompact this, toss it into storage with a stack of this. And we'll take you and you. What's that? We're gonna need the wand. And this should... give us a decent amount here. Should. Alright, we got a decent amount of gold there. And gold is something we are going to be needing. Okay, so it wants us to get some grass seeds. So that should be easy enough. Because all we do is just gotta brush some dirt to get that. So we just gotta smash this up a couple times to get the dirt, to then brush it, to get the grass seeds and some other organic material for us. We get some pebbles out of the deal too, and the pebbles, they're kind of nice. They kind of function with what I like to do. We're gonna take these out and toss those leaves into there. Those into there. Crank that down for you guys a little bit. All right. And now we just need to view grass. So, we have 13 grass seeds. once we upgrade to an iron hammer, it's gonna be so much easier to dig out these kind of areas. There's that. Now, we're going to be kind of breaking the floor just to turn around and fill it back in, but with dirt. And that dirt, once we made it, it will be converting into grass, so you can kind of get this area completed in its entirety, kind of right off the bat. There's that. Can we use this for anything special? No. Mainly because I want grass to spread for us. Toss that into there. And now, that should give us the clearance for all of this over here. Cool. I was tossing you guys into there. Bone meal we kind of already have in there. Toss these guys all into there. We got a warp scroll. Weldon spike. Weldon wings. And potion of mana regeneration. That'll go there for right now. Okay, let's grab ourselves one piece of the food real quick. Munch it down before we do the slash spawn command. Because the slash spawn command is how we are going to get back to the spawn area, talk to our Echo of Guidance. Now the Echo wants us to talk to but make the Chronion generator. Which also, unlike last time, we do now have creative flight in the spawn room. So we can zip around as quickly as we want in here. Alright. Grass is growing here. Good, good, good. And under the getting started chapter now, we now have to basically make ourselves an iron hammer. I also want to use up the last bit of this guy before we do that. Hello, Mr. B. Or Miss B, whatever thing you are. There we go there. Break this guy. Need this guy now. Now this should dang near get this one brush knocked down to almost no durability left. There we go. Yeah, 2 durability. 2 durability there and 2 durability there. Toss that there. And how much of the 4 of you? 4 of you. And 4 of you. $70. 78, like that. And this should break the hammer in its, like, outright. Boom. There we go. There's that. We do get a gift of pebbles, which is a randomized gift that, as you can see, the scrolling wall of text that it has a huge amount of things that it can grant us. We got black fire bricks. That'll come in handy when we go to do the productive metalworks, but currently it is not useful. But as you can see, it has a nice little animation here showing us how to make, one of the things. That shows us, at least how a basic foundry comes together. Alright, and for these, we need to craft up several of our fancy brushes. Let's just get also some of this flint, because the flint's going to be handy later on. Right now it's not really useful, but later on it will be. Because there is the pipes mod in here. It's also used apparently for a few more things than I initially thought. Sigil of Unnaming. Ooh. That will come in handy too with the Sigil of Unnaming. Alright. So now it's going to want us to get some redstone. So 2 of you. Compact it even more just so we have it fully compact. To get the redstone, though, we are going to have to go for dust. And that's going to be a huge breaking down for everything here. So that, got the sand. And there's the dust. There we go. Take a brush, and then we're going to brush it all up. This should end up leaving us with 2 durability left on this brush here. There we go. Ta-da! And we just combine it with this guy to slowly build up this brush into a repaired state. Toss all that into there. And to get our Chromium generator, let's just pin stuff we need. So 2 copper, 4 iron, and we already got 1 copper in there. There's that. Need 1 of you. 2 of you. We're gonna get that battery part made. And the Cronian cell. And not a battery, but it's close enough. We're going to compact that up. Toss that into there. Toss those into there. Toss that one into there. And that should get us all the other materials we need to make this. So we are going to need 1 clock. There we go. Ta-da! Submit for that. Collect that, and collect that. I forgot to collect the actual action pan. And now, with all of that gathered, just toss those into there. That keeps all of our stuff nice and tidy. Now, we do have this one piece of dreadful dirt. The dreadful dirt is something we do want and do kind of want to keep on hand. 30 dust, we'll just... So that gives us 60. There we go with that. That's that. Already at 34 durability there. Now, what we should do is we should easily compact up all these, since the pebbles, or the little chunks, aside from being able to be thrown into a functional storage drawer, their only sole purpose is to really be compacted up into the larger chunks at hand. So they currently do not have any other real functionability for us yet. So that is kind of how things roll. I think I can compact those guys up even more. Close, but no cigar on that one. Alright, so to design a room for that. Actually, for the copper to iron, make sure to pin all these up here real quick. Now, we're probably not going to be able to go for that rainbow furnace, but I think we can maybe get to the gold tier. Possibly. But to get to the iron one, we just need 6 iron, 2 glass. How much silver do we got? Aluminium, osmium. Not have any silver. There we go. There's the silver we're needing. I knew it was one of the 3. There's that. There's that. There's that. That should now be able to start getting us all the glass we're needing and all the other materials. Oh, it says we played for 1 hour. I just collect the free coin in that part. Bounty board basically says, hey, there is quests we can do here to consecutively reimburse coins. And so it says repeatable quests on all of these so that we can submit things and then repeat them multiple times. And trophy 350. 250 for that one. Remnant. Leviathan. Leviathan only gives 55? Bummer. That to there. Those into there. This guy into there. There's that. Grab this guy out of here now. Ah, I forgot. We need to cook up the last little bit of the glass there. Ta-da! Occultism storage. That I honestly think occultism has their storage look kind of fun, but I haven't really ever really toyed with it. This pack does also encourage us to go down the AE2 path, but we also have refined storage. We might use AE just for some of the other parts, some of the basic chapter parts, but we'll probably focus more on refined for our basic storage. And that's nothing against AE, but AE, in my opinion, is more of a confuzzling part than a solution, in my opinion. That's that. All right. Stack of you. Toss through here. We're gonna need maybe this. Maybe. Yeah, we'll definitely need this guy to dig kind of this upper section here to get more cobblestone on top of what we already have, but to also kind of make this room feel a little bit more opulent. I mean, because that's kind of how I like my rooms to feel. I like them to feel big without actually needing to be an extravagantly large building. That's that. Let's break all this up here. Gather up all of these lovely, lovely materials. Now, technically, the game is wanting us to go speak to the Echo of Guidance again, but I don't want to do that yet, primarily because if we do, there is the chance of us missing out on some other bits and pieces here real quick, like getting our mob farm set up, which is something I want to do. So, we're going to kind of dig out this little area here. And it's going to look kind of wonky here, but that is the whole purpose of this. Because we're pre-laying out how our stairs and everything is going to be. So, just how it is. Looks like I finally need to upgrade our tools. Plus that there. There's for the pickaxe, the axe, the hoe, the shovel, actually the sword, and the shovel. There's all of that. The long process of this. I'm really surprised by how well the performance is going today. It hasn't had any dips or any hiccups on us. I would have thought it would have had some sort of a hiccup on the performance for a multi-stream. But I guess I was wrong. I'm delightfully wrong. I like to be wrong on things occasionally. It just means that, hey, we are learning. Should probably grab those torches so I can have the area illuminated as I work. So it doesn't become like a dark dungeon-y type of area for all you to watch. That takes the fun out of it, right? You guys watching a stream and you guys are watching someone like just vibe to Minecraft, and all of a sudden it just has like no view on the screen other than just darkness, and it's like, oh, that takes the fun out of things. Okay, so as you can see now, we have this area at 3, but that's similar to how this area is here, but just the opposite way there. Now we can start digging this room out properly. 5, 6. Alright, there. Two and 3. Keeping it within our area here. There we go with that. Actually, we didn't accidentally just create a spawning area down there without having really any armor on to protect ourselves. Oh, that would not be fun if we actually did that. That would have been like one of like, oh no, we kind of did ourselves in there. We have the redstone. We have the iron. We should probably make this drawer a compacting drawer. Alright, so 2 of you. Plus you guys there. Grab you out of there. And compacting drawer. There we go. Now we don't have to worry about having to like manually compact things anymore. So we now have it all taken care of, right? Huh. Which that also helps us out a little bit. Also that into there. I want to toss those there. There's that. Alright, so... kind of want to do something like this, where we can then take a bit of like the framed slabs and make a little bit of a wall part going along to partition off this section from the rest of it. It will shorten our stairs down from being a 2 wide stairs to a 1.5 stairs, but that's okay in my opinion. I think that would work out quite nicely. So we need 2 of you and 1 of you. Because 1 full stack of sticks gets us all of that. I get a bunch of those. Let's get a bunch of these made real quick. There we go. There's that. Toss that guy to there. Name all that. Huh. I wondered, can we make this into the powered frame? Maybe later on, once we have like unlimited power, we'll do that. Currently we don't, so it's not exactly needed. We need 1 of you, 3 of you. There's that. And there's that. Kind of nice looking. Really? Ars Nouveau, Greater Experience Gem. Just some free experience then. Nothing we can actually really do to make it look better. Alright, so there's that. Now, framed panels. There's that. Need to take one of these and cut it down to a corner pillar. The corner pillar we can use to place there and there. So we need 1, 2.5. I think it would be one more we need. Possibly. Hoping I'm thinking correctly. So we need the one for right here. And then we're going to need the one for down there, I think. Yeah, there we go. See, now it just creates a nice little spot there for everything. As my voice sounds like super rough for a second there. Not intended, but it did. Break apart that. Pick up all the lovely blocks. Now, I want to say 5 blocks long for that, possibly. Not sure. Trying to think of a pattern of needing for the fan for the dreadful dirt there. Trying to think, but I'm also drawing a complete brain fart of what I need. We're gonna need you there, you there. Need that. 2 of you. Both of you. 2 of you. Fuller upgrades. So you, 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 and you. Those, and I believe apples are the other items that guy drops, if I remember correctly. There we go. There's all that. Ta-da! Got all that going now. And trying to think how else we need this now. Because I do want to, I not really want to, but I'm going to have to make more of these stone lamps. Because they are going to be used for some light sources in our lower room there. 12 of those. Now I just gotta smelt all that down. And that's gonna give us a whole bunch of stone. That's gonna end up giving us more of these stone lights. Or seers. And it will slowly replace all of the torches we currently have laid about. Hmm. Balance, take one out. Balance the grid. Take 2 of those out. Not what I want. There we go. Thinking, yeah, placing that right there. It is going to be placing the light sources a little bit higher. But that should be okay, right? Theoretically. Alright, so for this room now, I'm going to use this piece of cobblestone as representation of the dreadful dirt. I'm just going to go make a better hammer right now. Instead of deal with what we currently have with this slow guy, we're going to just make a better one. It is going to cost us iron to make, but that's a-okay. I think we just maybe have enough iron to do this. Guess it's just kind of a quiet vibe right now. I've already done those. Do 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 do. There we go. So we can dismantle into there too. Alright, so that block there is going to represent where our dreadful dirt will be. That block will represent where the fan will be. The fan goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 blocks. It can end right there. Meaning right here we gotta dig down. Because the enemies are gonna drop right to there. There's gonna be glass right there. Need to make a few sets of stairs. Need stairs exactly, I should say. So 4 stairs total. Not that bad. There's that. Balance grid there. Toss those there. Get rid of the stone there. Hello, Mr. Wandering Trader. What'd she got for me? He has the option of the pitcher plant. Emeralds for diamonds. We'll keep them all around because they won't really despawn, I've noticed. So we're going to kind of keep him there for the meantime. Alright, so there's that. Need 4 more stairs. I should have thought about that 100% before I did. But I did. Alright. I think we could throw, like, the storages right here. Possibly. I don't know yet. There's all of that. There's that. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 12 stairs to do that. Are you almost done yet? Close. We're getting there for this guy. That guy's gonna get tossed in there. And I'm gonna hope that we might be able to. But I'm not gonna put all my money in that basket there just because, the situation of it being the possibility of us actually getting any extra materials out of that may not actually come to fruition. So let's toss all that into there. I really wish I could see the chat for YouTube. Apparently it is not letting me. I think I just checked the manual kind of way. Yeah, none there. I wonder if I do this. Will I see it on my end? I won't even see it on my end. What the hell? So I think I have to add that plugin, I guess, for it to allow us to multi-stream chat viewing on my computer screen so that when I can look up on my computer screen, I can see it there. Unless there is a Streamlabs mobile where I can see the multi-stream chat there. Is there, actually? Let's open up that on the phone. We'll do that. That should allow us for that part. Ah. Ah. There's that part there. Just toss these guys into there for right now. Okay. 1, 2, 4. There's that. I think I just do this. Boom. Continue. That should allow us to do the phone part. Why is it not letting me log in? I'll have to figure that out in a little while. About 17 minutes until we're wrapping up the stream. So we should be okay, right? Theoretically, possibly, maybe. Okay, the block we want here is not the jumbo tank, it is the mob fan. So we need 9 of those, 4 of those. Toss that there. Press that there. Grab 2 of you. Toss you to go in. And that will get us that part. 1 of you. 1 of you. Get us the lever. A stone slab. Mob fan. I believe. How do I? I'll have to figure that out. That's being a pain in my backside. I'll figure out how to get it actually to allow me to log in. Whatever. You, and you. And take you down there. Yep, so it'll push them to here, and then they'll drop off to there. And that's right here is where we'll be able to attack them and whatnot. We just got to figure out a decorative way of doing that to allow that. I'll probably end up wrapping the stream up a little bit early right now just because I need to use the restroom and I really need to stretch my legs. One of my legs is pinging like a butthead on me. So we're going to switch to our lovely little end screen I did today. And we'll be wrapping up the stream here, everyone. So thank you to everyone who showed up today. You all are awesome. I'm hoping things went okay today. I don't know. We will see in a little while on what YouTube and Twitch both say. I'll try and get the figuring out the chat monitoring thing where I can see both chats simultaneously or any chats from all the streams available to see for me. But that will be later on. So stay